Let's discuss now in some detail the issue of money. You say, well, that's an odd thing to talk about for a campaign. I don't think so, my friends. Obviously, all of us must have something in our wallet in order to purchase our necessary items for the day, food and clothing and gasoline and housing. Everything we have is purchased by some means. And I want to tell you, make a statement, and I'll back it up with fact. In America, we have had no real monies since 1964. And now you say, well, what do you mean by that? I have money in my pocket right now. No, sir, madam, you do not. You have in your pocket a Federal Reserve note, which is fiat currency. It's backed by nothing, but by the faith that you believe it's worth something. And it's almost worth nothing. And I'm going to prove something to you that's going to shock you in a minute. But before I do that, though, may I show you, first off, in Scripture, I want to make a couple comments, that in Leviticus 19, Deuteronomy 25, and Proverbs 11, you'll find that it's an abomination to have unjust weights and measures. It's also against the laws of God, and one time in this country, to charge usury to the people. Would you believe in this country, when it was first founded, the banks did not charge usury when you went to borrow money? They charged you a flat fee to process the paperwork. You were loaned the money for what it was worth. No usury was ever given to you to pay back. And I wish I had time to go to go more detail on the Federal Reserve and let you know that the Federal Reserve is not federal at all. It's a privately owned corporation. That's a fact. Check it out for yourself. The IRS is not a government entity. It is a private collection arm for the Federal Reserve. Now, folks, this is all fact, and I don't have time to go in detail on this, but you can search for yourself and prove me wrong if you can. But I can tell you right now that the Federal Reserve is run by the banksters of the world. I call them banksters, like gangsters. They are money changers, and the Bible speaks. I did a teaching entitled The Curse of the Money Changers. Christ became violent in the Bible, we know, 3 times. All 3 of them were money changers. They were charging usury. The money changers now run the world through the Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund, and other areas. And the IRS is nothing but a private collection agency to collect the earnings of the people. And by the way, as a point of interest, there is no law that requires you to pay income tax. Federal income tax there's no law on the books. Now, search it for yourself. I don't have time to go into that right now. But back to the issue of money, where money is to be made from. According to our federal constitution, our forefathers were very wise men. They also, again, took biblical principles to set up a writings in our constitution to try to save for their posterity a way of prospering in a nation of free people. Now, the document, obviously, the Constitution is not perfect. It was written by men, but it was, we'll say, scripturally inspired. According to the Constitution, I'd like to read to you if you don't mind, Article 1, Section 8, one of the few responsibilities given to the federal government was the duty to coin money and regulate the value thereof. Now, may I make a point here? It said coin money, not print money, coin money. Our Congress does not coin nor print money today at all. The Federal Reserve prints the paper we call money, which are Federal Reserve notes. And the word note itself is a word of in debt, being in debt. When you go to the bank, you go get a 90-day note. Are you making money or borrowing money? Now, please let that sink in. Also, the same section on the state Constitution, it says this. Section 10, paragraph 1 says this: that no state shall shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. Now, that's in your Constitution. Please pick up the Federal Constitution, look it up for yourself, that a state cannot print paper money. It's against the Constitution to do that. Coin money. Now, there was a time in this country when the monies that we have in our pocket, the paper, was backed by a real commodity. For example, silver and gold. I have in my possession some copies of the gold certificates, but they're hard to find. But I do have in my possession a copy of a silver certificate. Now, when I grew up as a young boy, up until 1964, this piece of paper said right on the top, silver certificate. This piece of paper that was issued as a silver certificate was worth 1 ounce of 99.9% of pure silver. This silver dollar was minted in 1922. This silver dollar in 1922 backed this piece of paper. You go to the bank, you can take a piece of paper in and walk out with lawful money in your pocket. Remember, according to the state and federal constitution, that lawful money had to be coined in silver or gold. Now, to make a point here again, this is now a Federal Reserve note, which is not lawful currency. It is fiat currency. It is backed by nothing. It's a note. You carry those every day in your pocket thinking they're worth something. Now, I'm going to try to make a point with this, if I may, very quickly and right to the point. In 1964, as a young man, a young boy, I was born and raised in Monterville, West Virginia. There was a little dairy-et type thing down in Daly, West Virginia. I could walk into with one of these, a silver dollar or a silver certificate, and I could walk in and pick up 12 hot dogs for one of these. 12 hot dogs for $1. Now, you could feed a family for $1. We could go to a drive-in theater when I was a young man, stop at the little dairy-et, and buy 12 hot dogs, 4 of us, 3 apiece, a soda pop for 7 cents, and $1 a carload to get in and watch a movie. So for less than $3, they had a night out with the family. That's not too bad. Try that today with the Federal Reserve notes. See how much you can buy for $1 today, what we call a dollar. Folks, we no longer have legal currency anywhere in this country. No more illegal monies, I should say. Currency is a bad word to use for this. We need to get back to lawful monies in the state of West Virginia, and as a nation, obviously, but the state of West Virginia. Now, I'm going to make a statement. It may shock you. The price of gas has not went up in my lifetime. I'm 58 years old, soon be 59 years old. You say, well, my goodness, gas is currently $2.86 a gallon here, and this is August of 2007 in West Virginia. It's $2.86 a gallon. What do you mean? I bought it for 25 and 30 cents as a child. So did I. When I first got married back in 1971, it was still 25 cents a gallon. But what has happened? Gas did not go up. The value of our paper currency has come down. My point, please understand this. I can still take 30 cents in real money, silver dimes are worth 1 paper dollar apiece. Silver dimes are worth 1, what we call Federal Reserve note each. So for 30 cents, I can still buy or purchase a gallon of gasoline. For 40 cents, I can still buy a gallon of milk. What has happened is not that prices have the prices have gone up. Our dollar has come down. If you watch the news at all, you'll see in the world news how the dollar is taking a beating from the euro and other currencies of the world. Our dollar is dropping. We call it inflation. Call it what you like. It doesn't mean that you have anything worth more than it was 30 years ago. It's just that your money is worth less than it was 30 years ago. You think, well, my home went up in value $30,000 in the last 10 years. No, sir. Your money has come down in value $30,000 in the last 10 years. Your home's lost. It's still the same. Silver and gold never fluctuate in value. This fluctuates around them. Right now, it takes about 15 of these to buy one of these. I can still buy 12 hot dogs for $1, or 12 hot dogs for 15 of these. It takes me a lot longer to earn 15 of these on an hourly rate of, say, $8 to $10 or $12, $15 an hour. That's a lot. That looks like a lot of money coming in. 15 of these an hour. When one of these will do the same thing. Now that should concern us. We're watching our economy go down the tubes, not only in West Virginia but nationwide. We're watching our nation crumble financially because we now have let the power that was given to the people and given to the federal government to coin currencies, to coin money, I should say, be taken away So they may print fiat currency. Again, the Federal Reserve does that. A private company does that. Issues them to us on interest to our government. We pay it back plus interest, and our dollar drops every day because of that. What we call a dollar. Again, we keep using the term dollar, but that is not a real dollar. This is a real dollar. And the money drop in value because we no longer have real monies. I think it's time that we address this as a state. Now you say, well, the federal government's given up the right to coin money. I agree. And that's what the Constitution says. But when the federal government will not do its duty, then the state, according to Section 10 of the federal Constitution, must step in and do its duty. Please read, if you will, the 10th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. That the powers given to the federal government were very limited. And all other powers not delegated to the federal government were given to the states or the people. When the federal government will not do its duty, then it's up to the protectors of the rights of the people, and actually the people themselves, to insist that their servants in Charleston, West Virginia, do their duty, and once again, coin lawful currency, lawful monies, and if necessary, okay, we'll print silver reserve notes, but make sure that we have in reserve silver to back that piece of paper. I would submit to you that we need to go back to the foundations, biblical and constitutional, to regain prosperity in the state. Because inflation, again, is taxation. You have a graduated income tax on a federal and state level. The more you earn on paper, the more they hold out, withdraw from your earnings. You say, well, I'm making $30,000 a year this year. 10 years ago, I was making $20,000, so I've actually increased. No, sir. Your money has come down in value, but the state's taken more of it because it looks like you increased. You're further in the hole than you were 20 years ago. We're further behind than we were 50 years ago with real earnings. We're losing ground because inflation causes our wages, our earnings, to look like they're skyrocketing, but then that gives the governments, the states, powers to take more of that inflated money, so you're making much less than you were in the beginning.